noticing the simplest thing first, the fact that awareness is already here before any thought about this session even begins. You didn't have to create it or earn it. It's just present, quietly observing. Allow yourself to settle into that observation, letting the body find a position of relative ease, not perfect comfort, just enough support to let attention turn inward. There is no goal to reach today, only patterns to notice. As you breathe naturally, feel how the breath moves in its own rhythm, reminding you that many processes operate automatically, without conscious direction. The mind is similar. It runs learned programs, habits built over time, repeating because they once served a purpose. Today, you are not here to fight those patterns, but to understand them. Let your attention widen to include the flow of thoughts as they arise. Notice that they often come in familiar sequences, phrases, tones, and emotional reactions that feel almost rehearsed. Perhaps certain thoughts appear in response to stress, uncertainty, comparison, or challenge. You are not creating these thoughts in this moment. You are witnessing loops that have learned when to activate. Simply observe them as patterns of movement. As you continue to watch, begin to sense the rhythm of these loops, how one thought leads to another, how an emotion triggers a familiar narrative, how the body subtly responds. This is not personal failure or flaw. This is conditioning. The mind learned these patterns through repetition, reinforcement, and experience. Understanding this is deeply relieving. It reduces the impulse to blame yourself or judge the mind. Notice how the moment you see a pattern as a pattern, not a truth, it loosens slightly. You are no longer fully inside it. There's now a small gap between awareness and habit. Rest in that gap. Allow your breathing to continue gently, anchoring you in the present while thoughts do what they do. You may notice loops that sound critical, doubtful, pessimistic, or rigid. Instead of engaging with them, label them softly as habits, not as problems, just habits. This simple relabeling begins retraining the subconscious. It shifts identity from the content of thought to the awareness observing it. You are not your mental loops. You are the space in which they occur. As this recognition settles in, notice any easing in the body, perhaps subtle softening in the shoulders, jaw, or chest. When the nervous system understands that thoughts are not threats or commands, it relaxes. This relaxation is important. A calm system learns more easily than a tense one. Bring gentle curiosity to where these habits might have come from, not by analyzing details, but by acknowledging that many patterns were learned early, through repetition, environment, or attempts to stay safe, accepted, or prepared. Thank the mind briefly for trying to protect you, even if its strategies are outdated. Gratitude disarms resistance. As you continue observing, notice that some thoughts repeat with almost exact wording, as if they were recorded. This repetition reveals their mechanical nature. A true insight often feels fresh and present, while habits feel predictable. See if you can feel the difference. This discrimination sharpens awareness and increases choice. The more clearly a loop is recognized as learned behavior, the less power it has to define your reality. Let the idea sink deeper now. Thoughts are events, not facts. automatically. They shape perception and mood. When observed, they become information. This shift from belief to observation is the beginning of mindset flexibility. You are training the subconscious to pause before accepting a thought as truth. Allow this pause to lengthen slightly as you breathe. In this pause, new responses become possible. Notice how self-criticism often rides on top of these patterns, commenting on having them at all. See if you can notice that commentary too as another loop layered on top of the first. There is no need to stop it. Seeing it is enough. Each layer of observation creates more freedom. The mind learns that it doesn't have to obey every internal instruction. Bring attention now to the body again, noticing how certain patterns have associated sensations. Perhaps a loop of worry tightens the stomach. A loop of doubt weighs on the chest. A loop of frustration activates the jaw or forehead. These sensations are signals, not problems. They help you identify patterns earlier before they spiral. Awareness of body cues retrains the habit loop at its roots. As this understanding deepens, allow a sense of patience to develop. Habits formed over years do not dissolve through force or urgency. They change through consistent noticing and gentle redirection. This patience is itself a positive mindset trait. It replaces harsh striving with calm persistence. Notice how your inner tone shifts when you approach yourself with understanding rather than demand. Let the breath remain soft and steady as you rest in this perspective. You are learning how the mind works, not to judge it, but to work with it skillfully. Recall that habits operate on cues, routines, and outcomes. Often the outcome is familiar, even if it is uncomfortable. The subconscious prefers the known over the unknown. By observing patterns without acting on them, you gently introduce the possibility of a new outcome, awareness. This new outcome feels calmer, clearer, and safer over time. The mind begins to favor it naturally. Without forcing anything, imagine future moments when a familiar thought pattern begins to arise, and awareness recognizes it quickly, calmly nodding. This is a loop. Feel how that recognition changes the trajectory, even slightly. This is how retraining happens, one noticing at a time. Let this imagery remain light and effortless. You are not programming the mind aggressively. You are offering it new data. Bring attention back to the present, noticing sounds, sensations, and breath together in one field of awareness. See how the mind can hold multiple experiences at once. This capacity reduces fixation on any single loop. It strengthens cognitive flexibility and emotional balance. As you remain here, notice that thoughts continue, yet there is more space around them. This space is the positive mindset taking root, not as forced optimism, but as perspective. Perspective allows you to respond rather than react. Before concluding, take a moment to appreciate that understanding replaces struggle. You are no longer trying to eliminate thoughts or perfect the mind. You are learning its language. This learning naturally reduces fear and self-criticism. Let that relief settle into the subconscious, reinforcing a kinder relationship with your inner world. As you prepare to transition out of this session, Know that patterns will continue to appear, and that is not a setback. Each appearance is another opportunity for awareness to strengthen. You don't need to remember everything consciously. The subconscious has absorbed the key insight. Thoughts are habits, not identity. And with that understanding, the door to change remains open patiently